Morning, everyone. So I came across this story this morning with Sajjan, the deputy minister, dig a deep hole for themselves on a $337,000 quote party flight. And I thought, man, this is going to be fun because there's probably video of that. And yeah, there's video. So we're going to watch that. But first, I'll introduce you to what you're going to see in the video. So here's the article. Quote, Conservative MPs last week peppered Defence Minister Sajjan with questions about the now infamous December 2017 Canadian Forces Team Canada tour. The tour, with VIPs who were supposed to boost the morale of Canadian personnel deployed overseas, turned into a fiasco. Some VIPs on the RCAF flight to Greece and Latvia were drunk and abusive to the crew, in particular the military flight attendants. The VIP civilian passengers, including former NHL player Dave Tiger Williams, were exempt from security screenings before the flight, and some, already drunk, walked onto the Canadian Forces aircraft with open alcoholic drinks in their hands. 2 individuals were so drunk they were reported to have urinated themselves. Video taken aboard the plane showed people, including a staff member from Chief of Staff Defense Staff General John Vance's office, dancing in the aisles of the aircraft with their drinks as a rock band played at the back of the plane. Others chewed tobacco in violation of Canadian Forces rules, spitting the slimy juice into cups for flight attendants to clean up. So I saw that and I was like, well, there's got to be video. And yeah, there's video. So here it is. I'm only going to show you just the end part that shows the band for a few seconds. Well, like 20 odd. I'll show you about 20 seconds. Shows the band and shows the dancing in the aisles. And can you imagine? This is our government. And they're putting on a tour for the troops. The troops aren't on this flight, right? So what is this? Our tax dollars at work for $337,000 and 2 military air stewardesses, I think anyway, were sexually assaulted on this flight? And they're trying to bury it? This is fishy. Looks like a party, right? And really inappropriate to do on a plane in flight, I think, unless you own the plane, I guess. I guess we do own the plane, right? What's a couple $100,000? Okay, back to the article. The crew felt they couldn't do anything to put a halt to the antics, as these very important people were Vance's guests. Some military personnel have labeled the fiasco the, quote, party flight, while some in the RCAF refer to the December 2nd, 3rd, 2017 incident as, quote, Mardi Gras at 34,000 feet. Williams has been charged with sex assault and assault. He denies the charges. The alleged victim is a military flight attendant. The $337,000 taxpayer-funded trip was planned by Vance's office. Vance okayed the booze on the RCAF aircraft. Conservative MP James Beeson and Cheryl Gallant grilled Sajjan at the Commons Defense Committee last Thursday about what he knew about the flight and when. They questioned whether his department and the Canadian Forces tried to mislead the public and the news media, namely the Ottawa Citizen, about what happened on the flight. Sajjan didn't give a clear answer on when he found out about the problems on the aircraft, but said his department and the Canadian Forces don't mislead journalists. He noted that the priority of the DND and Canadian military is to ensure their harassment-free environment and helping victims of alleged sexual impropriety. Jody Thomas, Deputy Minister at the Department of National Defence, told parliamentarians there was no attempt to mislead the Ottawa Citizen. Information was released as it became available, Thomas said. Not quite. Here's an internal message that went through the DND and Canadian Forces when the incident happened in December 2017. It was obtained months later after the alleged sexual assault through the access to information by Toronto Star journalist Bruce Campen-Smith. The Ottawa Citizen also received a copy, and here it is. So this is, according to the Ottawa Citizen and the Freedom of Information, this was in December 2017. So it says who, 437 Squadron members, what 2 members of the 437 Squadron alleged that they were sexually harassed and touched by passengers on an airborne service flight, when believed to have occurred between 22:30 hours and 04:13 hours, December 2017, when airborne on a CC-150 CFC 3629. Why? Alleged sexual harassment and touching. Ops impact. No ops impact at the time. Actions taken. CO, that's the commanding officer, of 437 Squadron is ordering an investigation. Reactive PA posture adopted. No media interest to date. High potential media interest. Yeah, you think? So and I highlighted the next paragraph for obvious reasons in a minute. Note that there's no mention about taking care of the alleged victims, but there is a message about concern over the news media's coverage that might take place if journalists found out about what happened to the aircraft. Reactive PA posture means that no information will be provided to the news media unless they somehow stumble upon details of the incident. Okay, so the link to this article is in the description, and there's more to it. You can read, like, I could read the whole thing, but that would just be crazy and very long, so I'm not going to. But there's more to this. One, they knew about this. Two, they said one stewardess was sexually assaulted. There were actually two, as stated in this. So there's conflicting data, there's conflicting reports, and not cleared up yet. Again, this report was posted yesterday, so I don't know if that's been cleared up today, but it doesn't look like it. Usually they'd update, and the last update was yesterday. So that's pretty inappropriate. The ban on the flight, all of it, pretty inappropriate. All right, moving on. The next story. Calgary says no to the 2026 Olympic Games. Quote, Calgarians vote no on hosting 2026 Olympic Games. And this was contested. They weren't sure it was going to go through. And here's the CBC reporting on it. The people have spoken. Calgary mayor confirms 2026 Olympic dream is dead after the vote. So 56% voted no. And while some committees, I saw the Olympic committee tweet that it's not a law, it's not a legally binding vote. That said, the mayor saying, yeah, it's dead, it's done. So that's good. Good to hear, I think. And the last story today is about Ontario, the Ontario government to raise the threshold for official party status. So it's going up to 12 seats, up from 8. And the Liberals still only have 7 seats. And the whole point is about ideas, right? Like, the seats make up the House, but the party and the people make up the ideas, right? And it's a competition of ideas. So having a higher threshold, well, I mean, there was a threshold before. There'll be a threshold again. Now it's 12, and when the Liberals come into power, I'm sure if the Conservatives have 11, they'll keep it at 12 or maybe even raise it to 16. So it's, is it petty? Maybe. It's just kind of something I thought was funny. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good day. And check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. Oh, I'm going to check out the rally tonight in Etobicoke. I'm going to hopefully be there a bit early. So, and tomorrow I'll post the video if it's worth posting. I'm sure it will be. I have a couple of questions for Max, and I hope to ask them. So check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. Thanks for watching.